Good morning. Once again, it's your lawyer's favorite lawyer back with Monday Motivation. I entitled this, As a Man Thinketh in His Heart, So Is He. I know some of you who went to church yesterday, and let me take a second to say a couple of congratulations. Congratulations on St. Mark making it to, I think it's 125 years. That's an achievement. I also want to congratulate a couple of friends of mine on their engagement, Jason and Kelly. Man, Jason, you set the standard, man, on how it's supposed to be done, and I can't say anything but big ups and congratulations. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Why is that such a powerful statement? Well, let's talk about a couple of things. A lot of us, I had on my desk last week, I just put it up, I had a Ferrari. It was a Lamborghini. It's a Lamborghini. And most of us, men like fast cars because they move at a real high rate of speed, and we feel like, oh man, if we can drive that thing, then we are man. And so that car, as fast as it can go, is only 220 miles an hour. You have the speed of sound. The speed of sound is 1,120 feet per second. And that's a lot. You hear somebody before you see them. You hear a plane after you have seen it because it's moving at a higher rate of speed than sound. But in most cases, you hear something before you see it. And that's 1,120 feet per second. Then you have the speed of light. The speed of light. It's 186,000 miles per second. That means light from the sun takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to leave the sun and get to the earth. And it makes it to where in Arkansas it's 100 degrees in the summertime, causes the earth to spin. But that's 186,000 miles per second. Now, let's deal with thought. What is the rate of speed of thought? How powerful are your thoughts? Well, I was taught a long time ago that the rate of thought is 24 billion miles per second. I want you to take it again. Light was 186,000. The speed of thought is 24 billion miles per second. Billion miles per second. What that means is that thought is faster than light. So in our scheme of things, thought is the fastest thing out there by a long shot. So that means your thoughts are more powerful than a Ferrari, than sound, than a jet plane, than light. So if you say certain things about yourself and you put those things out, those thoughts out about yourself at 24 billion miles per second, how much power does it take to change that thinking? You'd have to have something equal and opposite to change that. So when you say things such as, I'm that bitch, I'm petty, I'm that nigga, I'm savage. The first thing you do after you say something like that is you begin to show actions and thinkings and thoughts that make you act like that. So if you tell people, I'm that nigga, then the next thing you got to do is you got to go out and you got to act like a nigga. If you tell them I'm that bitch, now you got to go out and act like a bitch. If you tell them I'm petty, I'm savage, you got to show that you are those things. I'm a gangster, I'm hard. Now, if in your mind you said these things and you put it out there, then that has a direct reflection on how people treat you because thoughts are powerful. Now, I went to college, I pledged Q, Omega Psi Phi. And there are a couple of sororities and fraternities that are known for being pretty. You have the AKAs and you have the capitals who have made their whole, alter ego pretty. Pretty girls with pretty pearls, pretty guy, suave, debonair. And have you ever met one of these people that wasn't physically attractive, what we would say is ugly, but they tell you they're pretty for so long that you start to second guess your thoughts, and after a while you say, man, that person might be kind of pretty. I mean, they may have a pretty eyebrow, a pretty earlobe, or maybe they have an elegant neck, because they've told you for so long. They put 24 billion miles of thought on you for so long that they're pretty, that you start to think, man, they must be pretty. And then somebody's never talked to them, never talked to you. You say, man, look at that pretty person over there. And they say, where? Because they haven't heard that influence. But you have to love that person who says, you know what? This is who I am. I'm this, I'm that. And they put it out about themselves. I say all that to say, what if instead of saying I'm that bitch, I'm that nigga, you say, I'm rich? What in your thinking would change? What in your actions would change to prove and provide you're rich? I'm beautiful. What would change in your life if you say those things about yourself? I'm a man, king, I'm a god. I'm a woman, queen, a god. I used to like Master P, because Master P came out and told you he was a CEO, and you wasn't thinking black folk could be CEO. Now everybody's CEO, but my point is, he came out with his thought process of, I'm running this thing. You see how thought controls it? What about if you said, I'm an entrepreneur? I'm conscious, I'm woke. These thought processes have meaning, which means you start to do things that show and prove and become analogous with what you're saying. So you can decide every morning who and what you want to be, and that's going to determine what you do with your day. Now, there are 86,400 seconds in a day. Depending on how you wake up and how you think about yourself determines what you're going to do with that time. What you say and what you think has an effect on what and how you deal with yourself and how others deal with you. In Islam, there's a prayer and it says, I've been greatly unjust to myself and I confess my faults. So grant me protection against my faults. The first part about it is, I've been greatly unjust to myself. Your thinking of yourself determines how you deal with yourself or how you give yourself justice. How you deal with your actions. What you want to put in your body. Whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, whether it's food, whether it's anything that you want to put in your body, is based on how you feel about yourself. If you think your body is a temple and nothing impure should go in it, you watch what you put in it. If you think, man, shit, I ain't nothing, then you eat everything under the sun, you inject everything in your veins, you smoke everything, and you're out of here pretty quickly. It also affects how other people treat and see you. It affects how others treat and see you. If you don't think you are anything but a nigga, then that's how people treat you. If you think, oh, well, I only deserve this, I only deserve that, then you go out and subconsciously you look for those things that you feel like you deserve. If you feel like you only going to deserve a person who does certain things to you, you go out and subconsciously seek those people. You don't even know you're doing it. You say, you know what, I want a man who is a doctor. Ladies, y'all say that. And then you don't go and you don't hang out near a medical school. You go right to the club where the doctors are not hanging out, and you say, well, man, I should have got me a doctor. Because subconsciously, you don't believe that. It also determines how people who are looking at you, who need your guidance in life, gauge you. How you think about yourself is how your children mimic their thinking of themselves. You can do everything in the world to give your children a leg up, and they walk around here and you call yourself this and that, and they determine that they're going to be that. I have a good friend of mine, and she's a beautiful woman, and her daughter's beautiful. But one of the things that she says to her daughter, the words she repeats to her daughter, gorgeous, pretty, beautiful. Those are terms she repeats to a 2-year-old. So when that 2-year-old hears that and looks at herself along the way, she can say, well, I'm pretty, I'm gorgeous. She's already developing her security in her own self. Now, the daughter, who of course has her own mind, walks around the house, and sometimes when she sees her mom, she looks at her and she says, mommy's pretty, mommy's gorgeous, mommy's beautiful. Because she now understands those terms. So, if your daughter heard you talking about you're petty, you're that bitch, you're this, what do you think your daughter's going to mimic? And see, some of us have the problem because we believe that our children are growing up in a vacuum and they're not looking at us. And then some of us are so selfish that we only hustle for our first name. We only get up and go to work for our first name. In other words, we only want to do what we need to do for ourselves, and our children are afterthought or byproduct. Think about this. If everything you do is with the thought of your last name, your children, your children's children, certain statements you wouldn't make, certain conversations they wouldn't hear, certain fights they wouldn't go in, because those thoughts are moving to them at 24 billion miles per second, and you are putting those thoughts into them. So you have to think about these things. As a man thinketh in his heart, as Jesus said, so is he. As you think about yourself on a daily basis, that's going to develop and determine who you become. Motivational Monday. Think better about yourself. Have good thoughts. Get in good environments. Change your dynamics so that the people around you are positive. Get around people that are throwing those 24 billion mile per second thoughts at you, that are raising your awareness and your consciousness and your level. Don't go around those people that are taking you down. Once again, it's your lawyer's favorite lawyer, Motivational Monday. God bless you. You know where I'm at if you need me.